Good afternoon, my fellow friends. So today I'm not doing an investigation because we're going out tomorrow, but I've come down here to have a little peace and quiet, and I am at Rainsbrook along the Ashlawn Road. Now let me just show you where I'm sitting. As you can see, I'm sitting by the pond. I will be a bit quiet because there is actually a service going on, but today is just a bit of a catch-up really on, you know, death itself and funerals and spirits and everything. And what people have asked me as well is, you know, what happens when we die? Where do we go? Have we got our own destiny? You know, the answers to that is we don't know. We don't know where we go. Do we decide our own fate? You know, if we've done really bad things and we've done absolutely horrific stuff, do we go to hell? Or do we all go to heaven? But, you know, is there such a thing? Now, I'm not questioning about that whatsoever, you know, because I do believe that there is a heaven and a hell. And other things with spirits as well, you know, spirits do roam this earth. You know, there are lost souls that have got unfinished business, that have got protecting loved ones, whatever. And a bit of a talk today is about the apps and everything, because I'm getting a lot of questions asked that, oh, these apps, you know, do they really work? They're just randomly shouting out words, they're just randomly saying stuff, random names, etc. Now, obviously I use, when I'm doing investigation with Paul, and we will be going somewhere tomorrow, which is totally different to a church. Well, it is a church, but it's not a church, but that's tomorrow's. And these apps like GhostTube, Spirit Talker, the Necrophonic, the Necrodice, people have said to me, oh, they're just shouting random words, they're just saying things, but actually, until you experience, there's been many locations that myself and Paul, and where Paul's been on his own and I've been on my own, and we've gone to locations and we've done these investigations, and some of the words and stuff that comes through is sometimes actually relevant to the questions we're asking. Now, when I first started out, obviously I went to Lawford. Now, I was sitting on the bench by the door, and the name Teresa came through, and I was speaking to her, and she turned around to me, she says, I feel guilty. So I said to Spirit, I said to Teresa, if that's you, Teresa, why do you feel guilty? And it came back, I've left my family, what should I do? So I said, Teresa, just go towards the light, settle down, your family know what happened, it wasn't your fault. I think she passed suddenly, I don't know, because I don't know the woman, I never met her, I don't know nothing about her. All I know is that her name was on the headstone. And she says, well, what do I do? And I just said to her, I said, Teresa, just settle down, go and rest in peace. You know, your family know what happened to you, they understand, you don't need to feel guilty. Please go and rest in peace. And since then I haven't heard anything more from her. And it's like with Laurie, when I first came into contact with Laurie up at Clifton Road. Laurie was a little girl and she was lost, and she used to come to me in visions, and like I keep saying it, that one night we were watching a film in bed, and all of a sudden I woke up crying and shouting, crying for mummy. Now, Laurie was a lovely little girl who actually, I don't know. So like I was saying about Laurie, she was a little girl that came to me and she was really sad, and she basically wanted to find her parents. Now, every time I went back up to Clifton, she would always come through and she was always wanted my help, and in the end we did some research, I found her family grave and we put her to rest, and since then I haven't heard anything from her. Now, You know, there is a lot of skepticism out there about the spirit world and the spirit realm, and you know, is there such thing as spirits? And if they are, why are they on the earth? What are they doing here? Well, they're either lost, confused, they don't know, they've crossed over too quickly, and you never know. And I don't know, even as a paranormal investigator, I don't know what kind of life they had previous. And so when people say, oh, I don't know, Auntie Flo came through the other day, you know, ask her this, ask her that. We can ask the spirits the questions, but we don't know what answers we're going to get back, because they don't know either. So that's right, there is a service behind me, so if you can hear a lot of talking, they've just finished, so I'm going to keep it quiet. But anyway, what are and spirits?
What the con meant means that you will drag and put into it. The con is.
Sorry about that, guys. People were just walking past now. You know, so the question is, we will never know what spirits roam the earth. Are they good spirits? Are they bad spirits? We won't know what kind of spirits they are. And yes, they are on this earth, and they do come on this earth because they're lost, they're confused, they don't know what's going on. And like I say, with me being a paranormal investigator, you know, I like to go and help and try and answer these questions. It's not all about, oh, let's go to this building and get some ghosts and everything. And it's very much the same with Paul, because Paul is a paranormal medium, as you well know. And like I've said before, what he can pick up on and what he can feel and sense, you know, some of these people that say these apps don't work and they're all just this and they're all just that, they're actually not. And you know, they do work and they are relevant with what questions get asked. And you know, so we need to get the point across that these apps, yes, just because they're on the phone, because the technology the way it is and whatnot, because they're on the phone, you know, they do work. These apps do actually work. Take the SLS. When I do the SLS and I've got a stick figure come through, you know, no one's standing in front of that. And some people say, oh, that could just be mapping a plant pot, that could be mapping a post or something. Well, has a post got two arms that are waving frantically at me? So that was just a bit of a brief today. But with regards to the spirit realm, you know, we don't know if there's a heaven, we don't know if there's a hell, we don't know what goes on when we die, you know. And this is what I think a lot of the spirits can't understand, is they want answers and clarification to understand, well, when this is, am I dead? Why am I dead? What happened to me? Us as paranormal investigators, we don't know what happened to them, so we want to try and help them. So, you know, I may ask, you know, do you know you have died? And sometimes I'm probably come across a little bit abrupt or somewhat disrespectful, even though I'm not being disrespectful. But you can come across some spirits that are angry because they don't know what's happened to them, and sometimes you have to give them back as good as they get, because not everybody is nice on this earth. You know, not every single person on this earth is nice, because believe me, they're not. And so it just, you know, when we do these investigations, it's just basically to say that these apps, they do work and they are relevant with what we ask. And you know, we should take more notice of the spirit world, of the spirit realm. So yeah, so I'm back, I'm still at Rainsbrook, but I've moved locations because it was getting a bit loud. But check this view out of where I am. I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So obviously you can hear because the service has just finished and there are people talking, so I'm going to leave it there. But you know, no one knows what happens to us when we die. You know, all we know is that we come back as a spirit, whether we've got unfinished business or whether we're lost or confused. We don't know. So, yeah, that's today. Bit of a chat. Tomorrow, like I say, me and Paul will be out doing investigations, and obviously the Latin's coming on okay. I am getting there. It's taken a bit of time, a bit hard, but once I've learnt Latin and the relevant questions, I will then be going on to German, because we've been to places before where they've had prisoner of war camps and they've had evacuees, and words have come through in German. Now, I do know a little bit of German and I know a little bit of Latin, but a little bit of Latin. We are talking like little bit. So we'll leave it there anyway, because I've got to go and pick Rianne from school shortly. So have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you on the next adventure, which hopefully will be tomorrow, where we'll see what goes on. So until then, take care, speak soon, bye.